is a special guest. He's from Hi-Fi Toastmasters. He's speaking from the basic manual, number 5, Your Body Speaks. I'm afraid I don't know the name of your speech.
Agent Zero.
Agent Zero. It's right here. Agent Zero. Agent Zero, please welcome Matthias Bloom, Agent Zero.
When the new Toyota Prius first hit the showrooms, I was one of the first people to buy it. I quickly fell in love with that car and tried to promulgate its virtues far and wide. Tell friends, colleagues, how fuel efficient it is, quiet, spacious, and the question I get more than any other question from the people who have the courage to ask, is there anything wrong with this car? Are you being completely rational about this, Matthias? The question I get is safety. What about safety? So I'd like to tell you a little bit about the safety of the Toyota Prius. It has airbags. It has side curtain airbags. It has anti-lock brakes. It has traction control so that your wheels never slip on the road. Now, most people, when they think of the Prius, they think, well, 50 miles per gallon, it must be small and lightweight. But that's not true. My other car is a Jeep Cherokee SUV. The Prius is a little bit longer than the Jeep, and it weighs about the same amount, 3,300 pounds instead of 3,400 pounds. So it's no pushover. Let's look at another dimension on this. How often do you see a Toyota Prius broken down on the side of the road? Never, right? Reliable. Suppose you were stuck in bad weather or in a bad neighborhood, that would be dangerous. But with the Toyota Prius, even if you run out of gas, you just keep driving on electric power. If that weren't enough, Toyota has engineered a plethora of other features into this vehicle. A lot of them you'll probably think, I'm never going to need that. But you never know. For example, one time I was driving along on the road next to the Salk Institute up near the glider port, Torrey Pines, and I was driving a little too fast, well, a lot too fast. And worse, I was distracted by a beautiful woman on the side of the road. Beautiful woman. By the time I looked forward again, it was too late. I crashed through the barriers at the end of the road, and the car became airborne as I went off the cliff. This is where the glide mode comes in. So the little wings popped out from the side of the car, and it doesn't glide like an airplane. It's more like a helicopter if the engine fails. So I'm plummeting downward, and right before I hit the water, I pull back the steering wheel and come in for a splash landing. Next safety feature is a submarine mode. Now, when Toyota developed this car, they were definitely thinking of global warming. So they realized that things like Hurricane Katrina would happen, that people would want to escape New Orleans even after the flooding has begun. This is where I was very glad that I had the windows rolled up, because the water level quickly rose. Within about a second, the vehicle pitched forward a little bit, the wheels flipped in, the little wheel covers came in, zip, and I was underwater. I gently stepped on the accelerator, the little propeller kicked in, turn left a little bit, turn right a little bit, everything's working. A school of sardines comes along. I go right through the school of sardines. They're silver fish shimmering everywhere. It was just beautiful. I notice how quiet it is. I feel at peace. I relax. Eventually I turn and start heading back toward the beach. And I notice a very large shape passing by the driver's side window. A huge gill comes by, Another huge gill comes by. It's a great white shark. The shark swims past in front of me, turns, it's facing me, opens its giant maw. I'm staring at rows and rows of razor-sharp teeth. I panic. I floor it. I pull back on the steering wheel. The propeller kicks in. The car accelerates, angles upward. I skim just past the shark's nose. The car becomes airborne. I jump over the shark. By now I'm going really fast. I start planing toward the beach on the water. The car grinds to a halt on the sand because the wheels have not yet come back out. The first thing I see is that same beautiful woman that I'd seen on the bluffs before, walking straight toward me. I roll down the window. She says, "Mr. Bond, I presume?" No. My name is Bloom. Matthias Bloom. She says, "Well, that's good, because the Bond girls, they either get killed the same movie, or by the next movie, he's ditched and he's got a different girl. Have you ever noticed that?" She says, "Do you like hiking?" I say, "I love hiking." She looks at me, she asks me, "Will you marry me?" Sure. So this is the story of how I met my wife. We now have a precious little boy, so I'm now a responsible parent, and I drive much more carefully. That's another safety feature of the Toyota Prius.